Hey guys, welcome back to my so-called mom life. So I'm sure like most of you, last year and even the prior school year, we all had to dive in here in Michigan at least to virtual school. And for most of us, that was kind of a nightmare. We didn't really have direction. We didn't know where to go. The school gave us nice classrooms. However, they were large classrooms. So my fifth grader, he was fine. However, chose to play games most of the time. My younger, unfortunately, struggled quite a bit. So we realized really fast that virtual was not going to work for us. So this year, when we were asked what we would like to do, we sat down as a family and decided my fifth grader would like to go back full-time, go to school. He didn't care what he had to do. My youngest, right away, I want to homeschool. What does that mean? I did not know. I have never done that. We did virtual school, but he did not want that. He wanted me to be his teacher. So with that being said, I dived into the world of homeschooling prep. So if that's what you chose to do as well, or even if you've been thinking about it, even if you've done it, I'm gonna go over what I've done, the prep that I took, the different things that I reviewed, and give some different ideas of what we're doing here in our homeschool that maybe you can implement as well. Come on with us. I am going to be completely honest, this is real talk. As soon as he told me he wanted to homeschool, my number one thing was self-doubt. I doubted myself. I did not think I could do it. I was terrified that I would lead him down the wrong path. I wouldn't teach him what he needed to know. He wouldn't have the ability to go into fourth grade, which he's in third right now. He wouldn't be able to go into fourth grade because I didn't teach him what he needed to know. He would fall behind the other kids, or possibly even the social aspect that he would become a hermit. So all that being said, I reached out to, again, network. I'm a PTA mom, so I reached out to the PTA and another mom that I know that has a special needs child, and she gave me some great information of how I can get the ball rolling at the school level to get him some assistance that he may need so he can go back to school. My child does have sensory processing disorder, which is SPD, without spectrum. So he is not on the spectrum, he just has a processing disorder, which causes a delay of thought from brain to paper. And that can cause him anxiety in a regular school setting because he falls a little behind the other children, which is not to say that he is not at the same level as them or not as smart as them. He just processes things differently. So that being said, there's a lot of anxiety in a regular school setting for him. So that is why homeschooling is his choice right now. We're hoping that the confidence gets built that he might be able to go back into a setting along with possibly an IEP. So I will probably do a video on that another day. All right, so the first thing that I did was reach out to my community of moms out there, right? Facebook is awesome for that. So I got about 100 different replies within 5 minutes. One of the main things that I actually didn't know and realized was homeschool and virtual school are very different. I always thought that K12.com was a homeschool base. It is not. It is considered a virtual school. The difference being virtual schools will always have a teacher. They are an academy. Anything that you look into that has a teacher and has curriculum based on that teacher teaching you is going to be considered a virtual academy. Homeschool, however, is all about independent, hands-off. It's going to be more about the parent teaching the child, or the child being more independent. There are programs you can follow for homeschooling, but they will not have teachers. You will have to basically just do everything on your own. So that being said, I also realized really fast that a lot of the homeschool programs are very religious. So if you are not, and mostly Christian based, so if you are not Christian based, if you are Jewish or a different religion, then a lot of those programs may not fit into your curriculum. So that being said, one of the huge resources I found, and forgive me, I have to look on my phone, was given to me by another mom that decided to do the same thing as me and dive into this homeschool realm. And it's KathyDuffyReviews.com. She's amazing. She reviews literally every single homeschool option, as well as K12.com virtual academies and gives you the cons, the pros, what they're about, and what you can use them for. So I highly recommend her. I will put her link in the comments for you. I started there. I also spoke to quite a few people that started this homeschool journey as well, and they chose all different aspects, right? One of my friends who is a Jewish mom stated that T4L is an all online school, non-secular. So that worked for her and her family. However, a friend of mine is doing a virtual academy because that works better for her child. So you really have to just verify what's going to be best for your child and go that route. But again, just review everything out there. There's a lot of information, so I highly recommend looking into the reviews online by Kathy Duffy so that you have an idea. Now we chose, after reviewing everything, to go with an online program called Easy Peasy. It's an all-in-one homeschool, and it is a Christian-based. However, we chose to remove the Bible study portion of it just because that's something that my husband and I would prefer to teach our children ourselves. So that is an option, just so you know, with Easy Peasy. You can remove the Bible studies portions. You also get to choose the levels that you feel your child is based on. They also have assessment tests if you prefer to do it that way. And what I really liked was they include not just your core curriculums of reading and the language arts and math, but they also give you options of science and history. And you get to choose what those are. Zoology is one of them for science, which is awesome. You can take your kid to the zoo. There's a field trip right there. And then in history, there was American history. There was different, the Congress, so different portions of social studies, if you will, that you can choose from. So that was really great. And they also incorporate music into it, science, all kinds of different things they do have. So I recommend Easy Peasy for the beginner. It's great. Now, I'm a planner, so as soon as he said homeschool, I also started thinking, okay, what else can I use to supplement a program or not use a program? And this is what I chose to look into. Now, we've used these in the past just over the summer for kind of a reminder course for the kids. They also came in handy when we did do virtual school and didn't have a platform to use. We used these, and they're great. They do actually do the core curriculum that is a nationwide curriculum that they follow, and it's based on their grade level and age. So this is going to come in handy. We've already used it today because today's our first day of school. Now, I also know my child, and my child thrives on a routine. So in his actual academic school, they always did a morning meeting with an independent worksheet that they started to use. Now, I looked into a lot of different things. Pinterest has a ton of different ideas for you if you'd like to start there. They're more than likely going to be called morning work. Independent work is another one that they'll go by. We actually chose to go to teacherspayteachers.com. Now, you do not have to be a teacher. It is a site for teachers, but also if you're homeschooling, you can create an account, and they have, hundreds and hundreds of different things to choose from. Workbooks, PDF that you can print out, digital copies. They have math, science, social studies, everything, every subject. They have it by grade, by homeschool or virtual learning, as well as just being in school. So that's what we chose. I'll show you. It was only $15 for the morning worksheets, and that was for the entire year. And this is kind of what it is. So it's going to give you a little bit of everything, math, all the way down to language arts or reading there and writing. So that is what we chose to use. We do these in the morning just to get our brains kind of going. Now, I created a schedule that would work for our family. It will change because in our district, we're in Michigan, and our district has been amazing enough to work with my child and allow him to come to school for his FAPES, PE, music, art, and media. So that being said, we do not have that schedule yet. So this will change a little bit, but this is the schedule that we chose to do. So first thing in the morning, we do our welcome. We go over what the day, the month, and the actual day is, as well as the weather outside. And then he does his independent worksheet. We go into math after that, where we do the lesson from Easy Peasy, and then we will also supplement with the workbook. From there, we have a snack break. Then we go into reading. Reading, again, is going to be through Easy Peasy, as well as the workbook, and then we also do a little bit of read aloud, and he reads a little bit to me. Great resource, garage sales. For example, we went to a garage sale and picked up all of these 25 cents a piece. So great resource. Also, obviously, your local library. I highly suggest allowing your child to get their own card so they feel like they are contributing to their own reading, and then they can pick out 2 to 3 books a week that they can read at home to you. Then we have a free hour where I allow him to do art. He can do story time on YouTube. If you have not explored story time on YouTube, there are a ton of cool things. Celebrities reading books to kids, all different kinds of books you can find on there. So that's a great resource. If you do not have YouTube or access to YouTube, you can also, a lot of the libraries have audiobooks for free for kids that they can listen to. Or he can play quietly, but it is an hour of just reflection for him to be imaginative and use his creativity in a way that he chooses. Then we'll go into lunch. I am an advocate, even at the school level, for children to have a longer lunch. I feel that they need enough time to not only eat, but process what they've eaten and have some free time on top of that. 20 minutes at a school level is just not enough. So we give a full hour for lunch. When we come back from lunch, we do writing. Now, my child, writing is his struggle. He has a very hard time with writing. So I found an amazing book, and you can find these types of books anywhere, but I found this at a garage sale. It's called Could You, Would You? So in the book, it will actually ask you questions like, would you like to be able to? And then it gives you different things. Stand on one leg, skate along a railing, somersault, or dive off the top board. Now, these are writing prompts. This is what we would start our writing with. So I would ask him one of these questions and ask him to write just a couple of sentences based on his answer. That gets him in the writing mode. After that, we would kind of dive more into both writing structure, do a little bit of possibly handwriting, and then also include in that his phonics, and he's going to be working on opinion writing. So we're going to start getting that ball rolling, do a little bit of comprehension to make sure that he's understanding things like that. After writing, this week will have PE and then music at the school. Our day will end at 3 o'clock every day. His older brother is at school, so we pick him up. We have to leave here about 3:30. So at 3 o'clock we end our day, and he is able at that point to play or write whatever he'd like. So that's kind of just what works for us. Beyond that, again, resources that I've picked up. I found these at a garage sale. They are multiplication flashcards. We are going to be diving into multiplication this year, so those will be fun. I'll create a game with them. There's also money ones that we bought, the exact same type of thing that we'll be using. So just some great resources. Another thing that we do that has helped keep things calm is listen to music in the background. It's instrumental only and it's very soft, but it seems to help him kind of stay calm and focused. Beyond that, just ensuring that we stay on course, that we focus. I do ask that he does certain things independently, and then I'll come back and check it with him just to make sure that he's actually doing it on his own and getting that confidence in himself that he can actually do these things without somebody else sitting right next to him the whole time. So those are all the things that we found that work for us as of right now. We will be doing field trips, going to the park, walking around and doing nature centers, even walking around the block and just doing scavenger hunts. Just get them outside and looking at things. And there is one other aspect of homeschool. It is actually called unschooling. It's where you don't follow curriculum at all. It's where you as the parent just allows your child to decide what he wants to do throughout the day. If he wants to read, he goes and grabs a book and reads. If he says to you, hey, I want to write a comic book, give him some paper and he writes a comic. Things like that. So that's called unschooling. There are plenty of people that do that as well. They feel that that is how their child learns the best. So again, it goes back to your child, the best way they learn. Now I will tell you that I have found Facebook to be extremely supportive. There are a ton of groups on Facebook, and a lot of them will actually have groups that are close to you, so you can search your state or even your county. And a lot of them will have co-ops where the parent will get together every week, and like every day one of the parents is the main focus of the little school pod, and the other parents get to go off and have coffee and hang out, and then they switch. And then each day the children all have the same pod. So that's a co-op. If you choose to do that, that's great. There are also just groups that get together on a weekly basis, especially for the social aspect of homeschooling. But just so you know, there are a million resources. Reach out to your local schools. A lot of them, even at high school level, have the ability to have your child go in for athletics or even music, band, chorus, choir rather, any of those things. They may allow your child to come into for homeschool. Look at your museums. A lot of them have homeschool programs you can do. The zoo has special days where homeschool children get a discount. So look and review all the resources you have around you at all times. You never know. For us, that's it. I hope that all of this helped. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. We'll have a lot of future content to come. And if you have any comments or questions, concerns, or even want to give me some advice, I'd love that. Feel free to drop it in the comments below. And share out. Please share with all of your friends. We're all a community. We all need each other. So I hope you have a great day. Thanks for stopping by.